at a 5-star, 4-star rating. I also want to have that algorithm-based recommendation system where even if it's just, hey, based on information, recommending these games, based on the games that you right now, recommend these games. Very basic things that that's utilized by PlayStation, Xbox, Amazon, really anything or interface that you interact with. If we ever use something like, and I'm not trying to be a smart ass or anything. Have you ever, you're on the game that you want, and then down the bottom it says, oh, you like this, then try these games. Is that something that you would click into? Because I personally don't. I kind of usually am pretty, I'm usually like knowing what I want to play. So my level of commitment on an eShop is pretty fast. I'm usually on there, I grab what I want, and I'm kind of playing the game kind of thing. I don't really browse the store and not really look at recommendations, but I'm not saying that people don't, but do you look at recommendations, Celia? Do you look at recommendations?
Yeah, I do. I love just looking around. That's why I'll try to go on Discovery and then do the doom scroll and then get frustrated when it resets and I'm back at the top and all my hard work is wasted. Whenever something's recommended, I'll check it out. I'll watch the trailer, then I'll add it to my wish list. Yeah.
Nate, do you look at recommendations? It depends on the platform, but in the case of, let's say, Xbox or PlayStation, I will look at a recommendation, especially in the advent of Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, where they might be recommending their game of a genre type that I'm playing on Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, that there's another title within that service that maybe is of interest to me that I didn't know was part of this service. It's not exactly the way that I'm describing in terms of recommendation purchase. And it can be a recommendation of something I may consider to download from those services that they provide. So at times, yes, I do look at the recommendations. But in general, for other digital platforms like an Amazon or Best Buy, GameStop, whoever, I will look at those recommendations to see, what did people bundle with this product? Maybe it's something of interest for me. If I'm in the market for a new keyboard or something, I'll say, people also want this keyboard cleaner. For an extra $5, I think we'll make that a bundle. So things like that, I do look for recommendations. Overall, for the Switch 2 eShop, though, I think Nintendo's going to enhance it significantly because you also have to consider that this eShop on the Switch 2 will also be housing Switch 1 games. That current library of digital games and physical games, everything that's currently on the Switch, will also be on this eShop because of backwards compatibility, which means it has to come up with a good filter system. There has to be a way I can check just Switch 2 games of interest or all games of interest. So they have to go kind of very aggressive route to create their own algorithm or something, because otherwise the Switch 2 games are going to be battling the thousands of Switch games. And then Switch games are going to be releasing even after the introduction of Switch 2. So they have to come up with a curated system to really allow you to easily navigate the offerings that will be on eShop.
So this is not a new problem for them. Obviously, if you think about the Wii U, this is something that they had to figure out on Virtual Console, the Wii Shop, I should say, the Wii U Shop, for backward compatibility, Virtual Console games, Wii games. So they've done this before, right? So they don't necessarily think it's,
but on a far more limited scale. When you went to the Wii U digital store, the amount of Wii offerings on backwards compatibility in terms of actual Wii games, very few. With the Virtual Console, it was really, they broke it down. This is the Virtual Console section. Whereas now, this is going to be full on, this is everything. You have thousands of Switch games. Between the Wii, on the Wii U, you aren't going to thousands of Virtual Console games.
What I think
a couple hundred.
What I think they're going to do, and again I don't know this, but what I think they're going to do is they're going to silo the two. So even though it's going to be one app that seems like it holds everything, it's going to be like that Call of Duty launch in 8 where you click over here and you're basically in the Switch eShop, the legacy stuff. Otherwise, you're just in the new stuff. That makes sense. I don't think they're going to, combine them into one big thing, because that sounds like they're not really solving the problem of, trying to optimize this new experience to make it, run much better. I think they're going to basically take what they have and they're going to make it available, but it's not going to be, mixed in with the Switch 2 stuff. Personally, I think that's what I would think.
When we look at the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store, it's a unified store that did unite their previous generation with the current generation. I think Nintendo would be the sole exception that they would create kind of a standalone Switch 2 store. Maybe there's how many titles are on the eShop?
Oh God,
50,000, 100,000. That seems way too high. Does
I
it?
have no idea. Wonder Google that.
Well, part of me just wonders, are they just going to just rope this off? Make it available, keep it available as long as they can. But I don't know. There's so much legacy there, that they have to figure out what to do with. So I don't know. I may be way off on this one. What would be the advantage, though, Nate, of if they did, like you said, mix everything in together into one, combine everything into one unified, storefront, which makes a lot of sense because, like you said, their competitors do the same thing and they have done that for years. But what would be the I guess in your mind the advantage of having that unified storefront, other than you don't have to click on this other app to get access to the legacy Switch stuff?
According to the Nintendo website, I click on Switch games, it shows 21,500 users. Now there will be some people kits involved there.
21,000.
There's a lot of games.
That is a ton of games.
I'm glad that you pointed that out first, because on their website, with their advertising eShop gift cards, it says choose from over 5,000 new classic or indie titles.
It needs to be updated.
It's not updated. That's so funny.
Wow.
So, a lot of games. But I think by having that unified storefront is that if I am to purchase a Switch 2, and let's say I didn't own a Switch for some reason, there's that vast legacy of Switch games that will never get a native Switch 2 version that's going on sale. I'm going to go on the eShop, I'm going to see that on sale. And now you might get that legacy purchase. Also, if you have Switch 1 games, I could potentially get some sort of patch or Switch 2 enhancement. I want to re-download it on my Switch 2. I want to be able to do this easily. I want to be having to talk to 2 different stores to find previously owned games or anything, because we know that this account that we currently have on the Switch is going to transfer over. All of our purchases are going to come with us. And I think that's where I see them kind of following a similar approach as Microsoft and Sony have. And it is a huge, undertaking for them to come up with a coherent storefront that is simplified enough that the user can go in and just say, okay, I want my Switch 2 games. And when you look at the PlayStation Store, you go to the side, you check the filter, you just say PS5, and it will show you PlayStation 5 only games. So Nintendo can do something that simple. But I've also been a very vocal opponent of the PlayStation Store. I don't think the PlayStation Store on PlayStation 5 is all that good. I think it has a discoverability issue. I think it does. There's a lot of content that is hidden that it's just not curated all that well. And Sony isn't doing anything to really confront that issue. So Nintendo is going to have quite the task ahead of themselves to really make the eShop on the Switch appealing to the consumer, but also appealing to partners, because as has been expressed by both of you earlier, the eShop as it stands is just not granting the opportunities that it once did. Back in 2017 and 2018, when Twitch was new and there weren't hundreds of games releasing every single week, your indie games had a time and they could stand out and build some popularity and net huge sales. And that's just not happening today unless you are very fortunate and you are a headline trailer in a Nintendo Direct and Nintendo's tweeting about your game and they're building up that hype and anticipation going forward towards your release, like the release we saw this week with the Plucky Squire. A lot of marketing behind that game. So that has a decent chance of doing well on the eShop. Not every game is given that opportunity. Whereas back in 2017, games like Fast Connect had the chance to sell well just based on word of mouth. They weren't falling out of the charts, one because of really good competition. We've seen some of the more popular indie studios going back to the ESI or even OES and U generation, where the games they're coming out with today from these studios aren't finding success. One game in mind is Gunman Clive, from a solo individual, and huge on the Wii U. It's also very popular on the 3DS. Came to the Switch with a sequel. Didn't do anything because it's far more competitive today, especially compared to those prior platforms. So I think Nintendo just has to do a full-on overhaul of the eShop. They have to make drastic changes, and I think that would involve a 5-star rating system, algorithm-based recommendations, and some form of curating exactly what is on the eShop.
With the, I'm fixated on this written review stuff, Celia. What if they had what if Nintendo had just like a predetermined drop down of responses, like yay or no, this game sucks, or this game's awesome, and you just pick from, and then just that type of thing.
Like a drop down would be like a half step, something that they probably would be more okay with. This should be assuming obviously I don't work for them. But I don't know. I just feel like we wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
Because like you also have to think about it is that Nintendo has been able to avoid review bombing.
That's true.
It's not a problem in the ecosystem.
That is true.
Like I feel like someone on Reddit would be like, wouldn't it be really funny for the next Breath of the Wild 3 or whatever the heck they call it? If we all gave it a 1-star. It was something. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like even with that, it would be super part of it. Or like they would have like the final say with the reviews, which doesn't make sense for reviews. But I don't know. I just feel like they wouldn't allow that.
I mean, they could do the verified review approach that we see on Steam.
No,
Wait,
still.
yeah.
I want the PS4 back.
You want what?
The PS4 back?
PS4, man.
PS4.
Oh, PS4, I don't even know what it is.
It's in the basement. Well, all I know is,
Didn't you give it to the big man?
no, remember, I had it in my room a long time ago, but I just woke up one day and it was out of my room.
TV in the basement.
Well,
Let's say it's your room.
well, you know, I want to buy the Xbox. I want to buy it back. Did you hear me? It was money. I want to buy it back.
You got $300?
Well, no, but whenever money I give for Christmas, I'll pay that, okay? Well, it's just really, no, I want to hook it up to my monitor. I don't have anything hooked up to it. I can tell you why.
To purchase the game with a verified Nintendo account type of thing. Yeah, I mean that makes
You
it
give your rating, and then if Nintendo did do some kind of pull-down menu of a smiley face or a frowny face or a melancholic face as a rating, maybe they do something like that, but they need a rating system of some kind.
Yeah,
They can't operate the way it is.
yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, that's the biggest kind of thing, other than just the performance of the storefront on the Switch.
I also want a cart system. I want to be able to put multiple games in my cart.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I like that idea too, where you can just kind of grab a bunch of things, especially if there's an eShop sale going on,
Yeah.
where there's a whole bunch of games that are discounted to like a couple of dollars and you've got like $20 to spend. That actually makes a lot of sense. I'd love to see. I do that with Steam sales all the time. Just grab all the games I want and then just check out one time. That would be really, really helpful.
And I'll say, if there's a sale on the eShop, let's say today, and there's 5 games I want, it's so slow and janky that by the time I purchase one, I'm kind of sitting there saying, forget it. I'm not going back to the other 4. If I could add all 5 at the same time, I would purchase them all. But I'm not waiting 30 seconds for all the listings to load, to then spend another 30 seconds trying to move down the page to find it, or to even type in the title and watch the whole app struggle to come up with the proper title and then list the game listing. It takes too long. So a cart system where I can add in everything would do wonders. And these are all very basic things that we have given recommendations in terms of hopes and wants from the Switch TV shop. I mean, this is outrageous. These are things that you just come to expect from a digital storefront in 2024.
What would be an outrageous one that you would like?
Ooh, I have one.
Go
Returns.
I was gonna say something along those lines of like returning a game, getting a refund.
Yeah, we can't do that. And I know it sounds counterintuitive as I'm a developer and I want people to buy our games. But if you're not having fun, forcing someone to keep the game, I think sucks. And that's another reason why, I love physical media, because you can return it if you don't like it. But also this is something that I've always wanted that will never happen. Because there's there's two issues with it. I wish you could share a single game code. I could let my friend borrow it. And I know, it activates, and when it's in use, you can't also use it, but then you can deactivate it and then give it to someone else. I know, that's another reason why I like physical games, because I can let my friends borrow it and we can try a bunch of different games together. So being able to do that on an eShop, or for a limited time, let your friend try it would be so cool. That's unreasonable, and I have no idea what they get put into that. This would think will happen, and I shouldn't be rooting for that because I sell games. But it'd be so cool as a consumer.
I'm all for refunds as well. I think you're absolutely right. If you don't like the game, then you should be able to return it. And obviously Steam allows you to do that. You have a 2-hour window. I believe you can do it on Xbox. A little more hoops to jump through. I believe you can do it on PlayStation. I think it involves getting customer service involved, but you can do it. I think there should be a way to get a refund on a game, if you're not having fun, or if it's a situation where, I hate to say it, but the game came in hot and reviewers kind of finessed around playing a PC version, and they played this, the Nintendo version, and it is not what they thought it was going to be, and they were a little bit misled or something like that, and they just want to return the game because it's buggy, then they should have every right to do so. So that's kind of what I was looking for, something a little along the lines of a refund process that they potentially could have.
Yeah, a refund would be a cool idea. Even if they try to do a stopgap where they say, okay, we'll give you the refund on this game, but before we give you that refund, would you like to transfer that money to some of these games?
Yeah.
To try to get you into that situation where I really didn't like Shovel Knight. Well, for the same price.
He insulted my game saying he was crashing.
Yeah, but that's one's based on
Shovel
truth.
Knight.
You did crash on.
Yeah. Grandma. No, no, I already hooked up the Xbox because it was just laying in the basement on the floor. But he just.
You better hook it up in the basement.
Huh?
Nothing going
I said, no, I told Grandpa I want to pay money.
You don't have any money.
No, at Christmas. I want to pay, please.
Where are you hooking up?
I want to pay for it. I want a Christmas. No, the one that was Christmas.
I got to put chairs again.
Sweeper's going to be coming in your room.
Okay. And there's something over here, down here. It's like a big box or something. Move the heater here. I can just. It's like real weird. I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is?
Moth.
Moss?
A dead moth.
Just get it. I don't like moss.
Put the cords back so when the sweeper comes in.
Okay. Here we go. Of course, here we go. There's here we go.
Me. So, like, yeah, I'm playing Shovel Knight. Like, oh, you know what? This is really my style of gaming. But for the same price,